Hello everybody, they call me Muse and I welcome you to Portal Revolution. It's a mod for Portal 2, a free community-made mod that's available on Steam as its own thing, much like Port Stories Mel, and it promises to be a jolly good time, much like Port Stories Mel. So, let's begin. Chapter 1, The Human Resource. That's us. That's my ceiling. What are you doing to my ceiling? Oh, I guess my entire room is on the move. I should probably go back to sleep. Okay, now we're going up instead of across. And a bit more across. We haven't got tired of across yet.
Good morning, test subject. You have been in suspension for 72 days.
Blimey.
The Aperture Science Computer-Aided Enrichment Center congratulates you on your 36-year sleep anniversary. You have been selected as a potential candidate for our Human Emergency Response Team. Please review the agreement provided on the nearby monitor.
I guess we should, shouldn't we? Where's the nearby monitor? Oh, hey, it's us. Don't we look fancy?
To be accepted into the Human Emergency Response Team, you will now participate in an advanced difficulty testing track where your problem-solving skills, athleticism, and response to increasingly hazardous conditions will be evaluated. Please press the button to accept the terms.
We can do that.
Thank you for volunteering.
Didn't really read
The door
it,
will open in 3, 2, 1.
but that's par for the course for these things. Now. Doesn't look terribly bad out here. It looks a little rusty, but I don't see any immediate reason why they'd need the Human Emergency Response Team on board right now. Is this an elevator? Yeah, it is. More used to the cage type elevators, but it's just the door that was a cage. And where are we going? We're into the test chamber. Hooray! Okay, yeah, it does look a bit broken up here. There might be some sort of emergency that requires a response. There's the type of elevator I'm used to. Take me away, friend.
Test subjects may experience symptoms of mental defects after long-term chemically induced hibernation.
No, it doesn't.
You will now participate in a brain damage evaluation survey to determine just how damaged your brain is. If you believe your brain is sufficiently operational, press the button in front of you and continue the test.
Hooray.
Very good. Please walk through the portal and continue testing. Your self-reported status is more than sufficient for testing.
It's one of those things like in Portal 1, where you go through a portal and you can see yourself. We like those. Now, cube and button-based testing. We know how this works. I assume the overall difficulty of this mod is going to be advanced. It's going to be, yep, you've played through Portal 2 and you know what you're doing. Now, we're going to need to put this over here. It has been a while since I played Portal 2 last, and that was in the form of Mel. That's kind of neat. Shows you how buttons dematerialise, which is why that one disappeared. Well, cubes dematerialise, I should say. And new ones pop in. So it's going through the tutorial motions.
Please be advised that noticeable damage to eyesight is not part of any test protocols, but is an unintended side effect of the Aperture Science Material Emancipation Grill, which in semi-rare cases may emancipate some of the light-sensing rods and cones inside your head.
Semi-rare is good enough for me. But yeah, it's been a while since I played Mel. That playthrough is up on the channel. If you've not already checked it out, feel free to do so. And now we've got ourselves a
gun. You are now in
gun.
possession of the Aperture Science handheld portal device.
Hooray.
As a candidate for the Human Emergency Response Team, you are expected to adapt to all dangerous situations, and as such, will not be informed about the device's safety hazards.
Good. I'm glad we're being trusted with this responsibility. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about the voice, but the dialogue sound so far. I mean, I guess the voice is supposed to be overly enthusiastic and chipper.
Your performance in the next test chamber will be timed to measure puzzle solving and execution speed during extreme wind and weather conditions. In the rare case that wind and weather conditions appear to be ordinary, please stay idle in the entrance foyer until the desired conditions are met.
Right, so we can pop through there, but then what's next? Do we even need to be up here? Or have I just fanning around? I'm sure it's going to tell us that our time just wasn't very good. Yeah. Whoops. That was totally an accident. So, yeah, we can go through, we can fire a portal, but then it disappears. Yep, so far so portal 2. Can't slip through there. Can't get the cube through because of the whole emancipation grid thing. Is it a red herring? Is this a deliberately broken puzzle to make me feel stupid? Stranger things have happened. But it could be the case. So we can't fire a portal through the grid because that ain't gonna work. Can we put a camera on the button? Not to any great effect. Oh, wait a minute. Why didn't we just... Yeah, okay. Turns out I am in fact a big dum-dum. We put our cube friend up here. Then we go through and then we bring cube friend with us. Very well. That did in fact take much longer than it should have. Now. Same again? Looks like same again, really. Put a key button over here. That turns off the grid. Interesting. Which allows us to fire a portal up there. Yeah. Getting back into the swing of things. But then we need a cube again. But now that we're up here... No, we just go back through. Because we've got our portal in place now. So yeah, now we just bring cube friend with us. Yes! I know how to portal.
And stop! Congratulations, test subject number 1. You have set the world record for this exercise, and now officially hold first and last place on the leaderboard.
Hooray! We're heroes. Steam page said 8 hours of content, but if I'm going to be this dumb the whole time, it might be a bit longer.
What do we have here?
I don't like that change in tone.
The next test may contain concentrated amounts of electromagnetic radiation that may be be harmful to the retinas of some humans. The Enrichment Center recommends to solve this test with closed eyes, as health insurance will not be provided for this specific exercise. In case the light-sensing rods and cones of your eyes have previously been emancipated by an emancipation grill, feel free to ignore the prior warning.
Alright, this is new, perhaps. Laser goes in, laser comes out. Maybe. Can't interact with this in any way. Now, how would one get a laser to do anything in this situation? For it requires one of those light reflecting cubes, and we don't have one. Jolly good. So, step one. I guess we just do this at this stage. Then that opens the door for us. But then what do we do? What if we fire it through there? Then it changes the grid to a murder grid. Interesting. So, I mean, we want a blue portal there, perhaps, but we also want Cube Friend with us. So we can go through, but then yeah, so we can't fire through the murder grid. What's the point in the murder grid at this point? Because we can't get through either way. But I guess if we got the murder grid on, it is a murder grid, yeah? Yeah, it is. Good. Should probably test that assumption before we go any further. Yeah, we've got a murder grid. I guess, yeah, we can just come back through here, can't we? And then we can just fire up there. Yeah. And then if we fire in the right place up there, it goes through and opens the door. Good.
You have completed the test. If you have not done so already, you are permitted to open your eyes.
Good. They were totally closed throughout, honest. It's already beginning to tickle the old brain cells.
Before starting with the next test chamber, we would like to remind you that, so far, no experiment has yet unproven whether or not weighted storage cubes are not incapable of not feeling pain when being emancipated.
Alright, close that up. So, we have a bouton. We can get up here. We could fire over there. And we could persuade a cube to appear. And then we could bring it with us and put it on the bouton. That opens a path over there, which we can't see from here, or can we? Seems like we can. I mean, it looks like we can, but it seems like we can. So instead we go back through, and we put a portal over there. And our cube does in fact get emancipated, but now we've got a fresh one. This one's much better. I like this cube a lot more. So we'll put that one on there. Now that's the door open. And then getting to said door. Bit of a doddle, really. So this is teaching us about how you can destroy cubes and get fresh ones, I guess. Step one, we open the grid, and now when we go through, let's see, we need a laser cube on this side, so we can pick this one up, put it over here instead of that one. So I guess it's also teaching us that some cubes are more valuable than others. But we knew that. Now.
Well done, candidate. You have successfully solved 5 test chambers. To ensure a high quality of human resources, the following test chambers may include elements of danger. Extra caution is advised. Good luck.
Yeah. We can live with danger. Now, that's where the cube drops. We've already fallen into a murder grid once, so yeah. Can't get much more dangerous than that.
On behalf of the Enrichment Center, I wish to apologize about the current state of our testing facility. Due to technical difficulties, we are unable to provide an experience of suitable quality at this time.
Unlike Aperture to apologise for anything. There's a lot going on here. Okay. So that closed the door, but then it's reopened again. So that would allow us to get a cube over there, but does that help? We have multiple buttons that we might want cubes on. So let's fling one this way. Good. So that allows us to open this emancipation grid. Is that what we need to do? Well, we need this one open. So we need a cube over here. But opening that grid shuts off the orange portal. Oh no, it moves the orange portal over to there. Interesting. Doesn't help us at this moment in time though, or does it? Because the orange portal will go away if we click this button, because another cube from there will be dispensed and land there. So I think we need to get a cube from this dispenser. Up and about. Cool, that's the laser cube anyway. That's good. So you come with me. Now we can put you down there. But then if we do that, then the laser won't stay on. So let's put this cube over here. Get our laser on. And then we don't need this button anymore because we don't need to go back that way. We just need to fire our laser in there. And we're done. Good.
Not bad.
Thanks. Are you actually watching? Or are you just a recording? You must be watching. You definitely seemed impressed with that. Presumably you're some sort of AI like everything else in these games. I'm sure we'll find out down the line. So we've got an emancipation grid there, so that's probably progress. Is there anything in this direction first? Other than probably another knackered little room. Yep. Okay, to the grid it is. We had to check. I wonder if the plot is something like he's recruiting people for the emergency team to shut himself down because he's gone insane and out of control.
As a consequence of semi-recent events, some aerial faith plates could be misconfigured and launch objects into arbitrary directions. Be careful.
Well, that sounds promising.
Well, that's definitely wrong. Give me a second. There. Try that.
That seems much better.
Good. That faceplate is now properly calibrated.
What about this one?
So that's why there are holes in the ceiling.
It's almost like you're making this up as you go along, friend. What's this button for? That didn't sound amazing. I think that was just a cube just dropping off, yeah. There we go. Back through there. That's impressive. I like the way that flies through there. So we can get that one on the go. And that's going to make our cube friend go back and forth. And we're going to snatch it out of the sky. Spiffing. Now what are we going to do with it? Is this one going to make a light bridge? Nope, it's just going to tilt that. Okay. So... let's see. Orange is in the middle there. Because we want to fly into orange and then out of blue and get up there. But how do we do that? Because this launches us too far. We've still only got one portal available to us. So we need something that will come down and block our passage, or something like that. What's that all about? Is that a second cube thing? Yeah, but that's switched on over there, so that's not part of the immediate solution, I don't think. I guess what we can do is go this way, and then see what happens if we do that. Anything nice? Doesn't see... oh wait, yeah, because then we blew there. There we go, that's thinking with portals right there. And you accept a round button. Such as one that might be received from over there. Yeah. So we'll fling one in. Good.
Well done. From now on, all aerial faceplates should be configured correctly. I promise.
Promise, do you? We begin to sound a bit more chummy now, a bit more familiar. I wonder when we'll learn our friend's name.
Well done, candidate. You are nearing the final test chamber. Solving this last chamber and completing the testing track will grant you membership into the Aperture Science Human Emergency Response Team.
Cool. So I guess this is the final level of the tutorial. We're getting a little speedrun tutorial, really. We got one level on faith plates, and now we're getting one level on hard light bridges. So that plonks stuff up there. Now what? Well, now we can get to new places with our orange portal. So we can hop over here and we can press this. Let's do that for now and see what that does. What does that do? Okay, that's half of the exit, so that's not really helped. So that elevator's still lifted, even though we've turned off the switch. Maybe. Yeah, let's go back through. I don't think that helped, really. Oh no, it hadn't been lifted. Good. So we're going to have to use, what, a hard light bridge to block that so we can stand on the elevator? And then turn off the hard light bridge to be able to get the lift up, maybe. So I'm thinking, that blue square intrigues me. Because I don't see any way of getting up that elevator now. And I don't see anywhere over there where we can fire a portal. Or anyway, that would actually help us right now, because how would we get to it? Not a lot of hard light bridges on this hard light bridge level. Yet, at least. What if we bring Cube Friend with us over here again? Is there anywhere else where it's worth firing it? I mean, you can fire it over there to achieve the same effect. There's no other sockets about, are there? That may or may not require it. I'm not seeing any. And that... yeah, that's just half a switch for the exit. Can't see anywhere up there where we can fire portals or engage in any sort of shenanigans. There is another cube thing up there, another laser cube thing. But I don't think it's one we can reach right now. Nothing up in the ceiling we can hit, is there? Doesn't look like it. We can't get a second cube anywhere. Because our first cube is going to emancipate itself. What if we stand in front of it? We can't block the laser. That's a change, isn't it? Or at least, I don't know if you could fully block them per se, but in the old game, yeah, you could definitely run into the lasers and they would meet some sort of resistance. Maybe they just decided that was annoying and didn't really have any gameplay purpose, so they took it out. I can bring Cube down here with me. And I can fire it up there like that. But again, how does that help? I can also fire the cube. I can fire the laser through a portal. But that doesn't appear to help. I can also fire the laser through here. But again, not doing... Wait a minute. What if we use portals? Let's see. Needs to be something like I fire it through the blue portal. Yeah. Yeah, come with me to this side. Now. What if I fire you through the blue portal? There you go. Yeah, now you are switching on the button. But if our blue portal is elsewhere, you're not. There we go. It took a bit of thinking, but part one of this puzzle is done. And now what? Well, we've got a cube. This cube, I think, is going to be our friend that goes on that button over there. But then how do we get... I guess we do this. Yeah, that's how we get our laser cube friend up top. Although... one step at a time. Let us pop through. Put that on there, because I think that's correct. But now what? Oh wait, yeah, okay, actually it's fairly straightforward, I think. We get back on the lift, and then we go back up, and then Yeah, we put our portal here. And then we just emancipate that cube that we don't need anymore and get a fresh one. I was wondering how we got that laser cube back across here, but the answer is we just bring it with us. But then, the next question is, how do we... I guess we just do this. That's how we do that. Figured out the solution before I could even articulate the question. What a champ.
As a reminder, your Aperture Science provided health insurance does not cover injury or fatality from immolation from the Aperture Science hard light bridge. Rest assured that unlike your fragile human tissue, all Aperture Science equipment has been built to withstand temperatures of up to 4,000 degrees Kelvin.
Jolly good. My fragile human tissue. I don't like it when AI talks about how fragile my human tissue is. That just makes me think they're up to something. We have a boson. A cube. We have a cube. Thank you. Let's bring it with us. We haven't got a lot of other options. That opens the way to there. Does that help us? Because we could already get to here through the portal. There's a hard light bridge up there. That's how it helps us. Now, where's this going to do for us? Much of anything? Right, so our bridge allows us to wander back and forth. Then if we go through here, the bridge fails. We need a button. We need the cube over there, so we need the cube through the grid. But how do we do that? Can we turn off this grid? Maybe. Yeah, we'll come through here and we'll get a fresh cube. We don't need that emancipation grid to be switched off at this point. What we need is to be through here. Maybe? Questioning now whether or not we do need to be through here. It's like there's 3 sections to this room. Right, middle and left. And we can go back and forth between right and middle, but that's about it. I guess we could block over there with the cube. Maybe that laser is already switched on. Yeah. So let's sync. So how do we get the cube up there? I guess we just put it up there. But then how do we also get up there? So yeah, we want to be up there with the cube. But we can't get there from here because the orange portal is on that side and we need the orange portal. And then we'd need to put a blue up there. So we need to fire a blue up there, then get back to the orange portal. Right, so that works. Then we get back our cube, perhaps. And then we come through. Now we're through here. But the hard light bridge is being fired from here, so if we move our blue portal anywhere else, it will just be in the wall. And that'll be it. Because we can fire portals over there for sure. What if we come through with our cube and we leave it on the floor there? No. Let's put it back on the button. Then let's fire a portal up there. I'm an idiot. I had some of the solution, but then I was just going wrong. There we go. So that's how we turn off that one. But now that we're in this third piece, how do we get our cube back? Because we can walk across to the exit at this point, but we need our cube on this button now. Which means we need to get our cube back whilst being on this side of this emancipation grid. Or we need to fire a portal over this side somewhere, like up there. But then we also need to be able to get to the dang thing, which we can't do. Because that grid stops us. Right, we can fire up there for sure. But then as soon as we go through there, that portal disappears. So that's no help. There's an aerial faith plate down there. Good. I'm glad the solution to this bit at least was just you've missed something rather than you're a big dum-dum and you can't figure it out despite all the obvious clues that are in place. Cool. So we're up here now. So now what? We fire a blue. That'll allow us to get our cube back if we can get to it. Which we can, because we go through and we get a fresh cube. And then we go back through. Good. And then we just plonk it on the button. But then our hard light bridge isn't active. So that hasn't fully helped, has it? Dang. But then what if we come back through here? If we stand on this button. No. Then when we're through here, we can't. Yeah, it's like we need another cube. So, what's the order of operations here? We can get a cube down, for sure. I've forgotten step 1 again now. So yeah, we can put a cube there. That's definitely a thing we can do. And then we get another cube, which comes with us up top and blocks that. Yep. This is too much for my tiny mind. Right, so we can get up here. How does this help? Because it lets us do this again. But then this emancipation grid is on, so we can't fire a portal up there. But what if we get our cube back? We go back through. Now what? Now we can't get back into the middle section. Without being able to get back into the middle section, how do we fire a portal up there? Is that QR code? Just sat on the wall there. Might be. It's not relevant to the problem at hand. It's a curious find nonetheless. So we can come back through here. And then we can't do anything because that emancipation grid's on. All we can do through there is destroy the cube and get a fresh one. But we've worked hard to get the cube up here. Am I just being a big dummy? I might be, you know. I might be a big dummy. All the key was moving the cube onto this side and then re-blocking the laser. So that when the blockage is no longer needed, then we do this. Okay. I am a big stupid, but I've figured it out. This is going to be a difficult mod, I feel. What? What?
Congratulations! You did it!
We did it!
I'm sorry for the surprise. Current testing protocol demands I dispose of all test subjects, so I had to intervene before you were, baked. I'll be honest with you now. There is no Aperture Science Human Emergency Response Team. I made it up. Sorry for lying to you. before I can explain why I brought you here, we need to get you registered as an Aperture employee. We don't want security systems to hunt you down after all. The Guardian and Intrusion system doesn't like it when test subjects escape the chambers.
Fair.
There's a security checkpoint nearby. Follow me.
Okay, so we've been lied to the whole time. I was ready to become part of the human emergency response team. But I guess that's not happening. So next time we'll find out what the hell is actually going on. Until then, thanks for watching, friends.